Slade's coming. He's, I think he pulled up a few minutes ago, but anyway. So it's just me right this second. Um, don't forget to like the stream, share the stream. So anyway, this is so weird being by myself, and I'm like sitting on the other end. It's like these people. Sorry if y'all are one of these people. It's like these people that you see in public, and the wife and the spouse sit on the same side of the booth, and there's like a whole nother side of the booth that no one's in. That's what this reminds me of right now. Like I'm just sitting all the way on the edge of this couch by myself, not in the middle. It's so weird. Anyway, um, hey Bailey, April, Cheyenne, Kristen. Right. Yeah, Slade just shows up when he can, Cheyenne. Um, yeah. And I wouldn't be shocked if he didn't. There's dinner on the island right now. I wouldn't be shocked if he don't stop in there and try to eat a bite of it before he walks out here. Um, but anyway. So, tonight I'm going to talk about like being humble in your marriage and when you're raising kids, and I mean just really in life in general. Slade and I were having a conversation today, and sorry, I gotta move. We were having a conversation today, and I was talking about how I think it's easier, when you're being humble, first of all, you have to look at yourself and be like, that's something I don't like about me or whatever, and change it, and apologies and all of those things. And I was like, I think it's easier to apologize to people that don't live in the house with you than it is to apologize to the ones in the house with you. Because I think a lot of times it's pride is why we can't whenever it's the people in the house with us. And, you know, so I'm going to read something that I have pulled up. The definition of humility. Just some like key things and what it means to be humble. It says having an accurate view of yourself, including your talents and limitations without being arrogant or self important. So, we have to have an accurate perception of us. We're not perfect by any means. And we have to know that about ourselves, but we also have to be confident in ourselves. I'm not saying, to lack confidence. Oh my gosh, Kristen, that's hilarious. She said the first time she went to Kyle's, they sat exactly where, and he sat on a complete opposite side. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Um, so you have to know your strengths and weaknesses, and you have to acknowledge those, and not, and even your strengths. So you don't want to be arrogant whenever you're, you know, oh, I'm good at this or whatever. Like you don't want to be arrogant about it. Um, it also says openness to learning, gratitude, and respect for others. So we have to be open to learn something about ourselves and about other people. And then we have to be okay with, criticism that comes from someone else. Sometimes other people would teach us something about ourselves that maybe we didn't know. And I think it's so important to allow the ones in the house with you to be able to speak on that, because let's face it, they know you the most. Oh, Slade's here. You made it. You're already unmuted.
Woo, we can get started now. All right.
You good? Did you try the dinner that was on the
No.
counter? No.
Mm-mm.
Hold on, I didn't know if you might be in there.
I'll be doing good if I didn't miss a spot shaving.
You did miss one.
Every time.
It's okay. I don't know if you heard me in the beginning
I did.
and the
I
booth.
did. I heard
Okay.
up until I walked in the door.
Okay. So, all right. I was on learning about yourself. Yeah. So, you should be able to take criticism from the people in your house. But that's the hardest thing because sometimes we want to feel attacked whenever they're telling us about ourselves, and we don't like that. I think it was easier to hear it from like my parents than it is to hear from my husband. And I don't know why that is, because you would think I know that you love me just like I knew my parents loved me. Um but it's just harder.
Yeah. Well, nobody really wants to be told about themselves.
No.
Not really. And I think it's harder to hear it from people at the house.
It's a pride issue though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. But it's harder to hear it from the people at the house because they're supposed to be the ones that are picking you up, and your pride feels like they're tearing you down. But what they're really trying to do is make you better.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then I have on here gratitude, um, and then respect for others. Those were just some key points that I had found about humility. So now we'll get into what does it look like in your marriage? Well, first, we've said this 1,000 times, you have to prioritize your spouse's needs before yours. That is an act of humility. It's not about you. It's about someone else.
Yeah, you have to in marriage, just like coming to Jesus, you have to die to self.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not about, like she just said, it's not about me,
Yeah.
and it's for her. It's not about her. For me, it has to be about her. For her, it has to be about me,
Right.
and for us, it has to be about each other and the
The
kids.
kids. Yeah. Philippians 2:3, it says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves." So, you know, you you put value of them above you.
And that,
Period.
and that's hard for people. Period. Um, because we're always we're it's ingrained into us that we look out for
Number
number
one.
one. You look out for yourself. You take care of yourself. But just like with everything in the kingdom of God, it's upside down. So self goes at the bottom. And in following Jesus, it's a race to the bottom. It's not a race to the top like it is in society, in the world. Everyone's fighting and clawing and scratching, trying to get to the top. But what you'll find is when you're in a race to the bottom, there's not many people running with you.
Right.
It it it's like we've been saying at church the last couple of weeks. There's a few that's trying to get to the bottom and get low and get humble, but there are many trying to claw their way to the top. And yeah, and that's why it's so cutthroat in the world, because everyone is trying to look out for themselves.
Yeah, I agree. And then I have on here practice listening, because, and what I mean by that is don't don't just hear them, listen to them. Um I think all of us have a tendency to li- hear someone to respond, but not listen to truly listen. You know, that's something I've had to learn recently, if I'm being honest, because I was bad about, he would say something and then I would jump immediately. So I've had to learn how to be quiet And now it's weird for him though because he's not used to that. So he'll be like, "Are you there?" And I'm like, "Yeah." But it's I had to learn a different way to process it. I can't jump immediately whenever he says something that maybe I don't like. I have to shut up and I have to listen. And sometimes that's not listening to him. Sometimes that's listening to the Holy Spirit because I have to get quiet to hear him. And so I get quiet when he said something I don't like and I immediately pray. And so sometimes when I'm quiet, he doesn't know because he's on the phone. He can't see me a lot of times. And he's like, "Are you there? Are you mad?" And I'm like, "No, it's quiet. I'm okay." And I've never even told him that. So he probably is like, "Oh,
Um, mm,
that's why
I'm
she's
just
quiet."
processing information right now.
um, and then I'll speak, but it takes me a second sometimes because I am um I'm a lot feistier than he is. I know y'all can't believe that. Um, so I'll jump fast, like a lot faster than him. So I've had to learn how to be quiet sometimes. Like, doesn't require an immediate response. Listen, process it, then you can respond. But what I would do is I would hear 50% of what he said because it would start off with something I didn't like and I didn't hear the last part of what he said. So what I'm doing before he gets the rest of it out is thinking of a way to respond to him because I'm angry now. And so if I stay quiet, I hear all of what he says and then I process it and then I can respond to him. Um so I don't know. Maybe that helps somebody. I did not plan on telling you all that, but here we are. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, and a lot of times I don't need a response for a lot of things. Um, Sometimes, and she's the same way. Sometimes I just need to tell something. I just need to get it off of my chest, and she may not know if I'm looking for a response or if I just need to get it off my chest, or I may not know if she's looking for a response. So that, and I was talking about somebody this last week before. It's like, you got to ask, do you want me, are you looking for a response out of me? Do you want me to try to help you in this problem, or do you just want me to hear you right now? Because sometimes she don't need my 2 cents. She don't want my advice. I don't need to play devil's advocate in every situation, even though that's what I want to do. I want to be like, well, have you thought about it like this, or have you thought about it like that? No, sometimes she just wants to air her frustration, and sometimes I just want to air my frustration, and I don't need to I don't need a solution.
Yeah.
I
And
just need to get it out.
and that's human nature to want to give someone a solution to a problem. I mean, that's what we've been taught our whole lives. You get a solution to the problem, but a lot of times it's not what they're looking for. So I have to catch myself sometimes, and I'll be like, "He's not. He don't need you to tell him what to do. He just needs you to hear him."
And again, that goes back to pride because I know what to do. Yeah, I know what to do about it. Let me
Let
tell
me
you
fix this
let me
for
tell you
you.
what you need to do about it. Like,
Yeah,
no, but sometimes people don't need that. They
yeah,
just need you to hear them and shut your mouth.
yeah.
2 ears, 1 mouth.
Right. And I have acknowledging your own limitations. Hmm.
I don't have any of those. So.
This is about humility, honey.
Oh,
Honey. He's joking though. Um, I have so when I think of limitations, I even think of like so literally earlier, that would be a limitation. Earlier we were on the phone and I said, "You don't have any water. Hold on. Here. You can have some of this." Anyway, earlier we were on the phone and I don't even remember how this, whenever, okay, so we were talking about this, and he wasn't saying anything really. But I was looking for him to reassure me in what I was saying, and he was sitting silent. And I was like, well, we just don't have to talk about that tonight.
No, you said, "Do you not want to talk about this
Mm-hmm.
because because it's something you struggle with?" And I was like, "No, I agree with everything that you said."
Yeah.
I was like, "I just don't have as much to say about it as you do."
And then I said, okay, well, we don't have to
And
talk
then she
about
said,
it.
"Well, we don't have to talk about it." And I was
That's not how I said it.
like, "That's kind of how you said it." Well, that's
I said, we don't have to talk about it. That's exactly how I said it. And that's just the way I talk. So he thinks I have an attitude all the time. So anyway, I'm feistier than him. Remember what I said?
I don't think you have an attitude till you have an attitude.
Okay. Anyways, so I said what I said, and then I was like, I need reassurance from you. That would be a limitation for me. I can't do anything without him assuring me that I'm doing the right thing. That is something I have to work on, but it's not going to change until I feel assured in myself with him, because I'm not like that in every situation. I'm like that when it comes to me and him. And I mean, I'm just going to be totally transparent with you guys. A lot of it is because, and this is terrible, and I didn't say all this to him on the phone earlier, but he is way smarter than I am. Like, I, he can sit here and say he's not, but he is. He's much smarter than me. Um, he he does way more than I ever could. He's very, like, he runs a business well. He he's just, I don't know how to put it into words, but like, he's good all the way around. Like, he always reads his Bible, and he always does this, and he's I say this all the time joking, but it's true. He's as close to perfection as you could get, and I don't want to make his head big, but it's true. So sometimes with him, and this isn't his fault, and it's nothing he's ever done or said or made me feel that way, it's just my own insecurities, I feel less than with him. And that's not his fault. It's me. It's not him. And so, but that would be a limitation of mine because it's something I've set on myself, and it's something I'll have to work on getting rid of, but it's something I had to acknowledge first.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, but yeah, I'm not. So there's just there's we're different, right? And so I look at you and I'm like, oh, well, she can say whatever's on her mind. I can't. I look at you and I say, I think, she's confident in ways that I'll never be confident. And so you look at me and you think, oh, I could never be these things. And I look at you and think, oh, I could never be these things. It's just a different,
Yeah.
like, it's different. I would never say or think that I'm smarter than you or
He is smarter
I'm
than me.
close to perfect. I'm far, far from perfect. But I, I should know this about you and try to approach it differently, I guess.
But it's limitations. I mean, that would be a limitation that I've set on myself. It's not, just the way it is, and it's something that, I have to acknowledge and figure out.
Another thing, like she she self-examines way better than I do. Like, she sees flaws in herself and actively tries to fix them. I do not. Like, I see flaws in myself and try to fix it or make an attempt, but I don't give it the um I don't give it the attention it needs in my flaws. Um but she does until she gets it right, or what she thinks is right. And that's a quality I think everybody should have.
Thank you. Yeah, I am one of the most self-reflective people. I do. I self-reflect a lot, but if I see something I don't like in me, then you have two options. You stay the same or you change it. Well, I'm a fixer, so I'm going to change it. Um, I mean, literally every time I sit in counseling, Brandy says the same thing. She says, "You're a problem solver, and what comes with that is self examination." She's like, "You can't just let something just roll. She's like, you have no. There has to be a. You have to fix this. You don't just allow yourself to do this or do that, and um, it's self control really. Uh, but I lack self control in some other areas. My temper is one of those. Now I'm much better than I used to be. Um, but I did lack self control a little bit in that area, and it's something that I had to work on. Um, that's a huge thing I had to work on because that was difficult. Because as I said earlier, I am feisty. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it is not good. um, I have on here valuing your partner's perspective and creating a safe, honest, and connected environment built on respect and team oriented collaboration. Don't be self centered or prideful. So, if he comes to me and tells me, I don't like this about you, whatever it is, um, I have two options. I can get mad and be like, who is he to tell me anything what he don't like about me? He's got his own issues. Or I can go, maybe he's right. Maybe that is something I need to fix. And then I actively do something to fix it. Our human nature is to immediately get angry if someone says something negative about us. But that's not what we should do, especially as Christians. Like, that's not, like, you're not perfect, and even if you feel like you're close to it or whatever, none of us are perfect. So, as y'all all know, I'm transparent. And earlier I was trying to think of an example, and the only example I could really think of, I'm not saying that I've never had something that I had to work on, but this was a hard one for me. Um, I like to spend money. I know that's shocking to everyone on here. It's
Stop the presses.
Huh?
Stop the presses.
I know, it's crazy. And y'all can chat in this chat
You-
over here. Y'all
you-
don't have to stay silent.
You don't. You what?
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
You enjoy spending money?
I do. I know. It's newfound information.
I'm shocked.
I know you are. So, I like spending money. I mean, I'm not talking a little money.
All the money.
I'm talking a lot of money.
All the money.
Not all of it, but yeah, I like to spend money. Um So he was like, you like example, I was ordering Starbucks every day of the week to deliver it to my house. Me and the kids. We're talking like $50 a pop. Well, because you got to pay a delivery fee and you got to pay a tip and you got to pay for your stuff. This has been, well, this has been like 7 or 8 months ago because I've been on this sugar free thing for so long. So 7 or 8 months ago, he's like, do you know how much money you spent at Starbucks this week?
I approached this very gently.
That's what you said. Do you know how much money you spent at Starbucks this week?
I literally started the conversation and said, if I tell you something,
Yeah, I
will
know.
you get mad?
And I said, no.
Yeah.
And he said, do you know how much money you spent at Starbucks this week? And I said, no. And he said, well, let me tell you. And he told me. And I said, oh my goodness, that's a lot of money. And he said, yeah. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And so I was like, oh my gosh, that's a problem. He does not say anything if I order food or whatever. But I mean, we're talking $50 for some coffee that you could go in the kitchen and make yourself. We're not talking
For pennies.
You're not. It's actually a few dollars, but yeah. We're not talking, actual food. So I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. So anyway, so it's something I had to work on. I could have gotten angry in that moment, but I didn't. But I will tell you, I have gotten angry in the past if he says things like, this is his favorite line to me, you need to slow down your spending. Now, I'm just like, okay, yeah, sorry, my bad. Used to, though, I'd be like, who's he telling? Slow down their spending. He just needs to make some more money. So I know it's a terrible way to think, but this is what I thought. Okay? I'd be like, I'm sitting at home with these kids working for free. This is my paycheck that I'm taking. These are the things I thought. Okay? I'm not telling you I was right because I was not right. I was wrong. The Lord had to deal with me. And then I was like, And so I went to him though, and I said, the Lord dealt with me on this, and I'm sorry. And I apologize a lot. And I really did reel in my spending the past several months. Yeah, because I did not do good.
Yeah, the Lord had to deal with her because I'd been trying for 17 or 18 years.
No, because I didn't have that issue.
Well, yeah.
It was more like 8 years.
Yeah, so, but I'd been trying, saying it every way I knew how to say it.
Yeah.
And it just, she was hearing me.
Yeah, but I wasn't listening.
But she wasn't listening to me.
And go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but a lot of things that we struggle with are it's only the Lord that's going to fix it.
Yeah.
That's it. So we can talk till we're blue in the face. If they're not ready to hear it, doesn't matter.
And, not making excuses at all for how I was. But in my defense, I did grow up. I grew up with money. I mean, I did. I didn't know how much anything cost until I got out on my own. I had no idea. Like, I didn't know. I didn't even know that some things I had were nice things because money was not discussed in my house growing up at all. And so that is something that I have discussed with my children because I want them to know the value of $1. But like growing up, I had no idea. Like My first car was a really nice car. It was a Honda Accord. It was loaded out. It was all the things. I didn't think anything about it being a nice car. I was just like I felt like I deserved that. You know what I mean? Like, and then I started like hanging out with people that didn't have nice things, and I was like, oh, this is not like everyone don't have the same amount of things. And like I knew that, my dad was well off, but I didn't know the extent of it, I don't guess, growing up, because literally we didn't talk about money at all. Like, believe it or not. Um, my dad, y'all, he will do anything to make a dollar. But he didn't talk to us about how much things cost ever. So we were just like, okay. Like we went shopping, we just threw it in the cart. I never looked to see how much something cost. I didn't care. When we got up there, mom was gonna pay for it. She don't grab the wad of cash out of her pocket and handle her business. Like, it was crazy. So then you take me, I'm 19 years old and I'm with him. And so and I had been living on my own for a year before that. And I didn't make a ton of money, but I did okay for myself. Um I had a solid $1,500 left every month after paying my bills. So, I mean, $1,500 at 18 years old is a lot of money. And I mean, I could do whatever I wanted to. I could shop, I could whatever. Well, then I get with him, he has Bailey. So now we're in a whole different ball game. And now I'm having to figure out how to budget. Well, y'all, I realize there is something I'm not very good at. See, you have to know your limitations. Budgeting was not a good. I did it.
Yeah, budgeting is hard if you've never had to budget. I never had to budget growing
Yeah,
up. Like I didn't. Again, I didn't know how much stuff cost.
I had no idea.
I didn't. There was never there was never anything that I asked for except for a wrestling ring that I did not get, and that is a credit to my mom and dad, not a slight against them in any way, shape, form, or fashion. They didn't do that because they wanted to spoil me. They did that because they wanted me to have everything that I wanted. They wanted me to never lack for anything.
Yeah, and so with our kids, we've given them everything they've wanted,
The,
but they also know how much it cost.
but the problem with that is when you get out on your own, you can't do those things for yourself
No.
to start with.
Mm-mm. And so what happened is I ran up a ton of credit card debt when I was 20 because Bailey, who said she's going anywhere? I know. Um, but I ran up a ton of credit card debt at 20, and my dad actually bailed me out of it. But his exact words to me was, "I'm going to bail you out of this because it's partially my fault." And like he didn't have to do that, but he did
Mm.
it because he felt like he was at fault.
And there would be times that, you know, wherever, hey, the water got cut off or the power
Yeah.
got cut off. What was I going to do? I had to ask my dad, hey, water got cut off, power got cut off. And he'd say, well, why'd you let it get that bad before you said something?
It's
You
hard
know,
to ask for
and it's
help.
hard to ask somebody for help. It's hard to, you think you're going to figure it out, you know, and you don't know. And that's humbling
Yeah.
to have to ask for money to get your water cut back on.
Yeah, your $30
Golly,
water bill.
literally your $30 water bill.
I agree, April. Budgeting is stupid.
It's stupid,
And
but
Bailey will always be here.
It's stupid, but necessary.
Yeah.
in this financial bracket.
Yeah. And, and I say this all the time, budgeting is different for everyone. So some people, years ago, we had to write down every single thing and I had to check it off every single month. And we had $10 left. I mean, literally. Just literally how it was. I mean, we would have like $50 left at the end of the month. The budgeting is different now. Like, I don't have to like go to the grocery store and put stuff back anymore like I used to. But you still have to watch your spending. And I'm thankful that I don't have to do that anymore because I mean sometimes those things that we might have needed, but I mean,
yeah, and like it doesn't really matter. Like you have to be in a special tax bracket to be more than one or two paychecks away from being in bad shape.
Everybody's paychecks are different.
Everybody's paychecks are different, but you got to be like super uber rich.
You got to make $1 million a year.
Not to be worried about the next payday.
Yeah, well, we don't really have a payday, but yeah.
But but the next
making
job,
sure
the next this, the next that, the next.
But ours is different than most people's because we don't just have to worry about our own stuff. Like he has all these employees, he's got to worry about them. Like they're depending on him. I hope none of his employees take offense to this, but it was much easier when he didn't have them. And to be honest, he could let all of them go and take as many jobs as he used to and bring home more money. But he doesn't do that because he is a person who's doing something to help others as well. And so, it was a lot less headache and a lot less stressful on him when it was just him and his daddy and Duke. It was easy. He wasn't under nearly the amount of pressure all the time, and the numbers he had to meet weren't nearly as high.
Yeah, it's the numbers that you have to meet, and it's I'm extremely blessed with the people I have working for me now. Being, should I try to name them all?
No,
being Brad, Dre, Duke, Dylan, Jacob, Daddy. Ooh, who'd I miss? Kiata. All those guys, they show up to work, they do their job, and wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. But to go back to just me in the car going to fix air conditioners, man, that's a lot less
stressful.
It's a lot less stress. But in doing that, I would have to miss a lot of opportunities to share Jesus. I would have to miss opportunities to get to know, different people, new people, give people chances, give people opportunities to make a better life for themselves. Like, I would love to be able to put this phone down and just not worry about it. But I can't do that because not only does this house depend on this phone ringing, there's about 7 other households that depend on this phone ringing. And I don't know where you were going with that, but it is humbling to know that I could take pride in the fact that people want to call me, but it's humbling to know that people want to call me. So Yeah.
Yeah. And anytime he gets,
Yes, April, we should be good stewards of what God has
yes,
given us.
and anytime that, he gets irritated because the phone's ringing, what do I always say? What
Could be worse, right?
could not be ringing?
Could not be ringing, and you say, just trying to keep up, just trying to get caught up. Well, I'm gonna if I get caught up, I got a problem. I got a bad problem, so I don't
Yeah.
want to get caught up. But every once in a while, you just want
A moment.
you just want it's like,
Just a moment.
give me an hour, give me 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But the phone has rang twice and gotten 5 text messages sitting here in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. And, but God put us together because I can handle that.
Yeah.
A lot of wives wouldn't be able to handle that.
And I just told a guy at the last house I was at, I don't remember what we were talking about. Oh, I was just telling him, he owns a business also, and I was just like, there's just days that I'm done with it. I'm over it. I don't want to do it anymore. And what April just put is what I'm about to say. I was like, and on those days that I feel like that, God always put someone there to remind me why I do what I do. And it's not for me, and it's not even for her or this family. It is for him.
Yeah.
It's to advance his kingdom. It's so somebody can see him in me. It's so I can share Jesus with somebody. And even if I don't verbalize anything about Jesus, you get the message out of nowhere that says you can just see Jesus all over you, and we appreciate you. And it's just those reminders. That's the humbling part. I could be prideful in saying I do this and I do that and I do this and whatever. No, that's not why I do it. I don't do it for me. I do it for him.
Yeah.
And every time I lose sight of that, that's when the anxiety sets in and the pressure is on and all this. And it has to go back to getting low, being humble, and it's a race to the bottom.
Yeah.
I got to get low so that he can be made high.
Yeah. That what
Is that a smiley face? What is that?
it looks like a yikes face. But what I was saying
I'm still not sure what that is.
What I was saying was not all women could be married to him, but he took it somewhere else.
I'm
But
sorry.
it's okay.
No,
like-
it takes a special woman to be married to me.
I was gonna say to be married to someone that's phone rings the way it does, like that, and not everyone would be able to handle it because it's constant, and we can't go anywhere without it ringing. We can't go anywhere without him having to take a phone call. And sometimes it's obnoxious. Sometimes I'm like, oh my goodness. If he gets up from the table one more time, I'm going to go get in the truck and leave him here. These are things I think sometimes while sitting at the dinner table by myself in a restaurant. But then I have to go, yeah, well, if he didn't take it,
You wouldn't be
might
at
not
this
be able
restaurant.
to eat. Yeah. So anyway, but it's difficult sometimes, but it works out. The last thing I wanted to talk about was, what does humility and being humble look like with your kids? So first, wait, I gotta back up. In marriage, apologies are a way to be humble and show humility. And I'm not talking about blanket apologies. there's, if you know me, if you've ever seen me with my kids or anyone, I'll always, if they say, "Well, I'm sorry," or "What are you sorry for?" Sorry for what? Like I want to know what exactly you're sorry for. Because anyone can give a blanket statement that they're sorry, but to give a specific means they actually thought about it. And if they don't give a specific, they're probably not that sorry. They're just trying to make you shut up. That's how I feel about that. And that might not be true, but that's how I feel about it. So that doesn't work for me. You're not going to say, "I'm sorry," and expect me just to be like, "Oh, okay, that's fine. Do it again." No, like I want to hear why you're sorry, what you're sorry about. Um, and that's not necessarily a hard thing for me because I do self reflect a lot. Apologizing for something I've done is not hard for me. Um, and I'll actively try to fix it. Um, I'm not going to speak on him. I'll let him speak on himself.
Now,
Mhm.
right now,
Mhm.
yeah, it's hard for me to apologize. You want me to say more?
I mean,
It's real hard for me to apologize.
oh,
A lot.
yeah.
I'm not good at it. I'm just not good at it. And that's one of those things. Like I try.
Mm.
I just don't
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 get carried away.
don't do that. I have I try. And it's just I don't know. I don't know why it's so hard. Why it's so just say it. Like I'll be thinking it. Like
That's called pride.
I know, right? Like
That's
I'm
what it
thinking it
is.
in my head. Just say these words, Slade. Say these words out loud.
Yeah.
And they don't come out. I try though. And how many times have I heard, "Well, what are you sorry for?" Not as much anymore. I don't guess. I probably don't. I don't do as many dumb things now as I
Don't.
used to do. But I used to hear it a lot. Like, "What are you sorry for?"
He,
Everything you just told me I did.
because he wasn't changing those things. He was saying, "I'm sorry," so I would stop talking about it. So he could move on and do it again. I mean, if we're being honest.
Yeah, but like I said,
Back then.
that was
Yeah.
a while back.
Years and
Yeah,
years. 10 years.
yeah. And
Joking.
I don't do as many dumb things
No.
as I used to. I still do some dumb things, but
Not very often though, at all.
not like I used to. I don't have. You know what? If you don't like apologizing,
Yep.
stop doing things that you have to apologize
That's
for.
right.
And I think that's kind of the that's the approach I took. Or if it pains you so bad to apologize, quit having to apologize.
Yeah.
That's that. For everybody out there that's struggling to apologize,
Yeah.
stop messing up.
And that leads into the kids thing. That is the number one way to humble yourself with your kids. If you screw up, you need to apologize to them. Um, Look, there are times I handle myself in a manner in which I should not. Um, it's not often.
Your sister's air conditioner's tore up.
Which one?
Casey.
It's not often that I, you know, like lose my crap on one of my kids, but it happens sometimes. And I try not to. I try really hard not to. There are times I fail and I throw an adult temper tantrum, and then I have to go to my kids and be like, "I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have acted that way." Now, I do not say, I'm so sorry that you're in trouble, or I'm so sorry. This is why it's so important to use your words and say specifically what you're sorry for. Because no, I'm not sorry that you're in trouble. I'm not even sorry that I yelled at you. I'm sorry that I yelled at you in a manner in which I should not have done. Um, let me say I'm sorry. I'm not sorry I raised my voice at you. I'm sorry that I screamed at you. And I'm not a yeller, so if I ever start yelling, I have had it. Like I'm done. I'm over it. But that is one of those things that I'm in control of me. There's nothing they should have been able to do. I shouldn't have allowed them to have that much control over me. And when I do, then I've lost my self-control and I have to apologize for that because I shouldn't do that. And you know, that is something my parents never did. Like they never apologized if they reacted poorly or whatever. They would never look at me and tell me they were wrong about something. Like they still wouldn't. Everything they did was right. And it's like, no, no, we're not perfect. Like, no one gave us this handbook and was like, this is how you have to parent. These are the things you do to parent. Like, nobody does that. So you just have to roll with it. And, he gets on to me sometimes. I say gets on to me. He says something to me sometimes. And he'll be like, I don't think you should apologize to them for that. And I'm like, yeah, but, I lost my cool. And I'm apologizing because I lost my cool. But that's the difference. As I said earlier, it's not as hard for me to apologize to someone as it is him. So if I see something that I don't like how I responded, then I immediately go to them and say, I'm sorry. And my kids know me well enough to know I'm not sorry for getting on to them. Like, that I'm not sorry for that. But I am sorry for how I reacted. And so, and you need to be a safe place for your kids to be able to talk to you. Some of y'all have older kids, some of y'all have only young kids on here. But when your kids become teenagers, if they're not telling you what they're doing, they're probably doing things they shouldn't be doing. If you're not involved in all of their business, like they're not telling you all the things, are there times that you probably don't care about what kind of drama they got going on at school or, with their friends or whatever? Yeah, probably. But as soon as you stop actively listening to them, they'll stop telling you things. And, I have a 19 and he's almost 17-year-old. And there's nothing they can't tell me. They've told me all kinds of things. I'm not going to say that I've liked all of them, but they told me. And they told me because even though mom is a crazy person about if you lie to her or something like that, and mom's going to chew our rear end, mom is also one of their biggest fans, and I am their best friend. If they need me, I'm going to show up. And if they tell me something I don't like, it's going to be okay. I'm not going to flip my lid and act like a crazy person.
And if she does, she apologizes.
Yeah, if I do, I apologize. I don't ever flip my lid about things like that though, because I never want to make them feel like they can't tell me. And I'll use Bailey as an example right here. Like, she's been to parties and stuff, and everyone else was drinking, and she would leave, and she would call me and be like, I left, they were drinking, whatever. She didn't, and I can honestly say she didn't. Like, I'm not one of those naive parents that's like, my kid wouldn't do that. No, she actually didn't drink. And had she felt like that was some taboo subject, I don't know how she would have. I discuss everything with these kids. I mean, before we ate dinner, we were watching a fentanyl show, okay? Like, and I was talking all about drugs. Like, I literally talked to them about drugs in kindergarten and third grade. That's when I started showing them what drugs look like and what they did to you. I made them watch Intervention on A&E. And yeah, during school, we would watch that show. And Bailey still watches it. But I was like, this is what you're going to look like if you decide you're going to do drugs. You want to smoke weed? That's fine. Let me tell you what's going to happen. You're going to smoke weed, and then you're going to be a crackhead next week. Like, you know, these are things I told my kids. And I also told them, though, yeah, April, we hear all the tea. Yes, it's great. I also told them, though, that all their teeth would rot out if they didn't brush their teeth. And I showed them videos of bugs in somebody's mouth.
Your toes will fall off if you're an Auburn fan.
Yeah. And if they bit their fingernails, they would get a parasite in their stomach. I mean, I told them, I mean, things that could happen. I didn't tell them eyes. Not, well, the Auburn fan, your feet won't actually fall off. But that's what my daddy used to tell me. My feet will fall off if I was an Auburn fan. I still have my feet, so I'm not an Auburn fan. So that's good. But yeah, so, you know, I hope y'all learned something from this tonight. You know, apologize. Stay low. Is it hard sometimes? Yes. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
But it's important.
Yeah. We must decrease. He must increase.
Yeah. Next Thursday night, I will not be here. Me and the kids are going to Birmingham to watch a musical.
So I have to do this?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I got to find a special guest host. Who can I get?
I don't know. So I don't know what you guys will get next week. But this guy will actually have to show up on time next week. And he's going to have to set up all this. And
I'm really thinking hard about who could be the special guest host.
Yeah, y'all be in for a treat next week, guys. Anyway, love y'all. Bye. I won't see y'all next week.
Going to work. Love y'all.
Bye.